It's a sweltering Sunday, and it's time to get back to the weekly updates. Alright, let's just charge forward before I melt. I've been working on the garden a lot this year, so if you haven't been watching the videos up to this point, there's a third level. I've also kind of reshaped the hill underneath the citrus trees and added irrigation, which is helping the orange tree that was always giving us splits. We could never really get any good fruit. We are now getting fruit, edible fruit, off of it. Unfortunately, with the lemons in this heat, I think what's happening, I don't know the exact nature of it, but I think the heat weakens the stems and the wind blows and knocks them off. And I've got one there, I got one there, and I've probably got about 3 or 4 dozen in the kitchen ready to be juiced. Garden's looking a little worse for wear. I threw some water on it earlier so that things wouldn't just completely die. Yeah, the nasturtium looking rather sick, but I got a bunch of seeds and I can get more seeds off of these. I can replant. That's not the end of the world. 3 different squash plants here. We've got the patty pan like we had last year, although it's looking kind of sickly. We've got what's supposed to be an 8-ball squash, but this is kind of what the fruits are looking like. It doesn't look exactly like I was picturing, so I'm not sure what happened there. And then we got the straight neck squash over here. There's actually 2 plants. We've got a bee flying around. I guess these guys need some water and they're trying to figure this out. More nasturtium. Salad planter started growing, was absolutely green, and then I stripped a bunch of it out to plant some new plants. So we'll see what happens with that. Swiss chard from last year, still going. Over here we've got the cucumbers and dill. As I tried to make pickles last year, might as well have the dill for that. There are a few flowers underneath, so that's starting to go. Move some of the nursery stuff. There's a whole thing with backups and a raccoon that was messing with everything. These are not looking good, but hopefully this heat will pass this week and I'll try and deal with anything that has died. Speaking of which, the bean plants are not looking wonderful, but maybe they'll come back. I'm down to, whoops, found another fruit. Arugula, that's what I'm down to. And then there's some, actually in both of the salad planters, I've got romaine seeds. It hasn't started growing yet. And that's pretty much, oh yeah, we got the whole upper level, sorry. I pulled a couple of celebrity tomatoes off of the plant in the middle of the picture there. You can see another fruit up there which might look fine, but when I climbed up there to get the tomatoes, that is a red bell pepper, and it is basically cooked on the vine. Not wonderful. Plumeria has new leaves. I don't know what to make of it. I keep thinking it's dead, and then it keeps coming back. So, irrigation's been updated in a bunch of different ways. Let's take a look here. I moved the thermometer from the backyard because we got a new one. I moved it over here, and it looks like it's almost 100 degrees right now. In the, well, almost in the shade. Let's head to the back. Let's see what that all looks like. Also repainted the gates, but looks like I've got a spider web. Moving around this way. I've got a bunch of tomato plants. The Genuine is not producing any fruit yet, but it's hot. If it wants heat, it's got it now. These are actually Roma. They're yellow now. I think they're going to turn red soon. Another one back there. And there are some yellow pear tomatoes. So we're doing good there. Oh, this is doing significantly better than it was a couple of days ago. That is a poblano pepper. This is the rest of the nursery I mentioned in the backup plants. This is spoon tomato. Itty bitty little tomatoes. So that's kind of what we got in the garden. Up front, I've pulled all of the nasturtium because it was dying. Planted new seeds. We'll see what happens. Moving on. Past the plants that are all suffering because of the heat. This is Mom's area, and we're having our share of issues. I'm going to try and figure out the irrigation again, but things just keep dying, and this heat isn't helping. I will say, though, that the bougainvillea are starting to look really nice. Moving around, hopefully before my phone overheats. Usual suspects. Around this way. More bougainvillea. This thing is just taken off. Irrigation changes. Some of them are really helping, some are not. This is the purple orchid tree. Some dead leaves on it, but getting taller, continuing to grow, and not really dead. I think it's just stressed. So all I can do is just keep chasing the sprinklers and try to figure out what to do. Back up front to the lawn. And yeah, significant amount of brown. We are under water restrictions, and they're about to get even tighter. Most of LA has been told 3 days a week, and now my city is going to go to 2 days a week. And we're only supposed to water before 9 a.m. or after 6 p.m. So not during the heat of the day. But that's where we are. That's what things are looking like. Thank you so much for coming along. We'll see you again next week.